All right, morning, guys, or good afternoon, or whatever it is. Real excited about the class that we've signed and moving forward here in 2019. The highest rated class that certainly we've had since we've been here, and I believe the highest rated class since 2003. So a lot of good football players, 10 high school captains, 4 players that won state titles. A great cross-section from our footprint. We've got 5 from New Jersey, 2 from Michigan, 2 from Ohio, 2 from Maryland, 2 from Connecticut, 1 from New York, 1 from Florida, 1 from Pennsylvania. Our breakdown was 5 DBs, 4 defensive linemen, 2 offensive linemen, a quarterback, a running back, 2 wide receivers, and a linebacker/outside linebacker rushman. So really, really good cross-section. I thought we've enhanced our team in areas that we needed to enhance our team. Certainly on defense, we've really did a great job on defense and specifically in the defensive front, which is an area that we obviously had some replacements to have happen. So talking about the class, I'll start with Spencer Bono, a defensive end. He's an Ohio kid, obviously from Elder, which is where home of Ricky Brown and other guys that we've had here, is a 6'4", 245-pound defensive end. Great athlete, tremendous player from a great football program. Really loves ball. Great fit for us here in terms of the whole package, academically, athletically, and really excited about Spencer. I think he's a guy that has got unbelievable potential. Ireland Burke, defensive tackle, 6'3", 290 pounds. From New York, but at Pope John in New Jersey, Catholic school there, a big-time interior run stopper, pass rusher guy, just a really good football player. We think has got unbelievable potential. I'm not going in any particular order. I think, as you can tell, I'm kind of keeping this random, not by state, by position, by anything. Jack Connolly, offensive lineman, 6'8", 280-pound kid from New Canaan, Connecticut. Really got an unbelievable ceiling, very, very good feet, very good athlete. I mean, at times had been a punter. He's just got really good athleticism for a guy that big. He's going to be a big dude. Another guy, great fit here. Obviously, academics are important to him and playing at the highest level of college football. Josh DeBerry, a corner from Detroit, 6', 175-pound defensive back corner, great ball skills, real physical tackler, and really has great film and has had a great career. Really excited about Josh. Zay Flowers, a corner who's from Fort Lauderdale, dynamic athlete. Great speed, great ball skills, plays both sides of the ball, just a gifted athlete. Really explosive, speed, dynamic guy. Patrick Garwo, tailback, running back from PA, from Conwell Egan, 212-pound, 5'10" guy, 5'9.5", 5'10" guy. Great leader. Really explosive. I mean, his tape is excellent. I mean, fantastic football player. Big, strong, physical running back, and we're thrilled to death to have Patrick. I mean, bona fide player. Connor Greco, defensive back. He's a 6'3", 185-pound kid from St. Joe's in New Jersey. Really talented guy. Long guy, great size, great athleticism, toughness. Like the rest of these guys, really a perfect fit for us at Boston College. Played for Augie Hoffman, former great player here, and really thrilled about Connor and his family. I mean, I think he's going to have a great career. Isaiah Henderson, defensive tackle, from Mater Dei in New Jersey, 6'5", 200 and now honestly like 290-pound guy right now. Coming at mid-semester, and really a talented guy. I mean, if you walked in the door right now, you'd think he was already here in college, and really looks the part. Heck of a player, great student, great guy. Played for Dino Mangiero down there, good friend of mine, and just a sensational player. Really excited about him. Sam Johnson, quarterback from Detroit, a 6'4", 200-pound guy. I love this guy. I think he's got a tremendous arm. He's got unbelievable character. I mean, he is the kind of guy that you want as a quarterback leading your team with his mindset and his mentality. Great family. Really looking forward. He'll be here early as well, and really looking forward to that. I think the upside with Sam is just incredible, and think we got a special guy there. Steve Lubisher, defensive back from Red Bank Catholic, 6'1", 192, great athlete. I mean, played quarterback at high school, so he's on the basketball team there, having a phenomenal basketball season. Really got great speed and athleticism, great vertical leap. Will transition into that defensive back position. Dad played here. Really like him. Great, really good high school program. It's a place it's a real winner, and he's a winner. Jackson Ness, defensive end from Upper Arlington in Columbus, 6'5", 265-pound, probably a little bigger than that right now. I think he's another guy that will walk in. When he walks in the door now, you're going to look and say, that's a high school kid. It does not look like a high school guy. I mean, super bright, super great fit for BC, really good football player, really good athlete, really going to make an impact at the defensive end position. Really excited about Jackson and his family. Blaram Rostemi from DePaul Catholic, offensive lineman, 6'4", 280 pounds. He's going to be another 310-pound offensive lineman. Great looking body, tough guy, great demeanor. Football's really important to him. Great high school program. Really like him a lot. I just think that he'll come in here and really be what we're looking for on the offensive line with toughness and athleticism. Excited about him. Bryce Sebastian, Brandon Sebastian's younger brother. Probably shouldn't refer to him that way. He's his own entity. Wide receiver, at Cheshire Academy from Connecticut. 5'9", 160-pound, real speed guy, burst guy, fast, tough, loves football, great energy to him. Obviously a BC family, and very excited about his explosiveness and what he'll bring to the table here. Ashita Sila, outside linebacker, 6'5", 220-pound guy from Mater Dei, teammate of Isaiah. He's a real edge, get to the quarterback, pass rush guy. He's going to become a really, he's 6'5", 220 now, and you see this guy being a pass rusher with tremendous athleticism off the edge. It's 6'5", 245, 50-pound, 55-pound guy. That's really, I think, going to be just a sensational player here. Really think his ceiling again is so high. Ethan Williams, wide receiver, 6 foot, 195-pound kid from Maryland. Talented, got really good hands, really good ball skills, really mature guy, smart guy, really good football player. Excited about him. Really think he's got a really great potential and really fits well into our team culture and who he is and what he's all about. Jalen Williams, another guy from Maryland, from the Lannon School, defensive back. Really another one of those, he's just sharp and mature and tough and all about the right stuff, talented football player, and I believe will have a great career here as well. He's a real BC guy, comes from a high-end school too. So I think we've compiled a list of very talented guys that will become outstanding representatives of Boston College. They'll be BC men. They'll represent what's important to us, that first and foremost, you're a tremendous human being. Second of all, you're gonna really respect and engage in your degree here, and then of course be able to play at the highest level of college football in the ACC and be a great teammate. And we think we know we've upgraded and improved our football team with this class, and so we couldn't be more excited about them and about the future of where we're headed. And, you know, as we move here and graduate really talented players and replace them with really talented players, we put ourselves in great position to continue to grow and continue to improve and continue to move towards our goal of competing and winning a conference championship. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Steve, with so many graduates and seniors, do you see some of these kids college ready by next year?
Yeah,
if
I
you
mean,
need 'em?
you know, the way it's been, Rich, every year there's more and more guys that seem to have that opportunity. I don't know what the numbers are, but yeah, I mean, there'll be guys in this class for sure that'll be challenging to play, and there'll be a number of these guys that will end up playing as true freshmen. And you hope that they can, and we believe that they can. And in certain positional needs, you hope that that's where that occurs, right? But guys today, especially the ones that come in sometimes early mid-semester, have a great opportunity to do that. And I just really think that there's a great shot for all that to happen.
And tell us a little bit about Sam Johnson. Is he kind of that ACC dual threat quarterback that everybody seems to, the league wants to get?
I mean, he's a thrower now. You know, he's a 6'4" or 5" guy that can chuck the ball down the field now. He's got great presence. He's very athletic, and I think that you know, he's a guy that will impact the game. But he's a thrower that has athleticism. He's not an athlete that can throw. I mean, he can throw the ball now, and you know, we had him in camp, and watch him make those throws was very, very impressive. So I'm really, really excited about Sam.
Steve, how many of these guys, I know you have positions listed and stuff, but how many of these guys do you see coming here and you sort of deciding, you know, once they get here? Like a guy like Zay, for instance, is listed as a corner, but he's also somebody that can, you know, play receiver. How many of those guys do you see that as sort of, you know, once they get here, you'll have a better idea?
I mean, we were recruiting Zay as a corner and believe that he'll be a tremendous corner here. We love those guys that have the great speed and athleticism, but really good ball skills, and he fits that to a T. I'm sure that he'll help us also in the return game. He'll be able to be a punt returner and kickoff returner because of his ball skills. But you know, those guys are hard to find that have that kind of athleticism and speed, but also can play corner and play man coverage and play zone coverage. So, you know, I think, to answer your question, I think, you know, right now the guys that we've recruited, where we have them pegged, is where I believe that they'll be. I don't think, you know, Steve Lubashar is a guy that we've already talked about in terms of, you know, he's playing DB here. I mean, like those are, you're seeing us put these guys where they're going to be, and you know, I don't see that changing in any way, shape, or form right now. I mean, for anybody, I think we're right on the money here.
Just the way that there's a heightened profile for the program, obviously with the season you had, the new facility and things like that, and I guess that kind of shows in the crop of the class you got this year. But does that also come with some challenges as far as like compete with other Power 5 schools for these players, or, you know, retaining some recruits, or just talking to guys to make sure, you know what I mean? Does it come with challenges as your profile kind of raises?
I think you're always trying to expand in your recruiting and push, and you know, you're getting involved with more highly recruited guys. I think when you do that, you get in more risk of you know, losing guys type of thing. But I think that's all part of it. I think we're pretty good at targeting the guys that fit our culture and match what we want here to keep. You know, it's so important to us that the character piece of this, and I really want guys that really want to be here. And so, you know, I think that you know, as you keep trying to expand / go after higher profile guys, you got to be really careful with that. Because, you know, what you don't want to do is get out of your footprint and get out of your profile, you know, in terms of, you know, guys got to be able to make it here academically. Guys got to be able to want to be here and believe in what we have. And so I think while you're constantly trying to elevate, you got to also make sure that, you know, you don't put yourself in a situation where you're not getting a good fit and a good marriage, because that's really so important. That at any place that you have the right fit and the right marriage at the highest level of player that you can possibly be involved with to help you win the games that you need to win.
Coach, how do you measure that, or is there things that you can measure? Because obviously a guy gets, rated with measurables, how fast he can run, how high he can jump, and all that stuff. But for you, when you take the other side of it with the intangibles, the leadership qualities, or stuff like that, how do you strike a balance between those two on the and the guy's ceiling while you're at it?
I mean, that's that's what it's all about, and it's hard, and I think our staff does a great job with that. I mean, there's not like a book or a page on that. I think there's a feel for that, and I think to be more right than wrong. You're not always gonna be right. I mean, we all know that, but to be more right than wrong, and to target properly, and to evaluate properly, and how do you evaluate character? Well, that's hard, but I mean, obviously it's a process, as you would well guess. I mean, it's relationship based. I mean, the more time you're with somebody, the more you get to know them, the more times they're on your campus, the more people you get to meet around them. They're obviously their parents, their family, their guidance counselors, their coaches, their whatever. And that, over time, I think you try to do a good job. I mean, we're not like, our goal is not just to go out there and say, okay, we're going to go chase this 4-star, 5-star guy. Okay. Some people do that now. And we obviously are going to go out and chase the best players that we can chase too, but while doing that, we want to make sure that we have the right guys that create a great marriage. Getting a guy is one thing. Getting a guy that's going to be happy and be able to grow and succeed is our ultimate goal, right? It's not just getting a guy because he has a rating, because that's not who we are. Like, we don't just, like, on the extreme end of that, we're not going out in junior colleges and recruiting like some great player and just like, okay, now we're going to take a round peg and fit it in a square hole here. Like, it's not going to work out real good. I mean, so I think having a great understanding and a belief of who we are, what we're about, is really important, and then the ability to figure all that out and evaluate it is really important. So it's a real process, and obviously, I mean, I think I said earlier in an interview I did that if you just went out there and said, okay, if you were at a place where you could just go out and recruit, say, all 4 or 5-star guys, and you just cast out this net and lassoed and got 4 or 5 guys, right, rated guys, the percentages of those guys hitting are going to be greater, because the chances are that, while they all might not be great players, a fair amount of them are going to be better players. But I think the art is when you have to go out there and you've got to project that, and then having a high percentage of being accurate. That's where the not secret sauce, but that's where the proof is. That's where and how do you really evaluate that? I mean, I think you evaluate that as the number of guys that have come out of your program that you've recruited, that have gone on and had good careers here, and then of course have gone on and had opportunity and done that. And I think that's how you evaluate the athletic part, and of course the character part is ongoing. It's how they represent your university. And so I think all those things are you have an ability to evaluate that. It just doesn't always, you can't really evaluate it properly until you have time to see how that played out.
And kind of when you're out recruiting, how do you approach it? When do you identify areas of need? Is it something that you go into your season knowing that your recruiting season knowing you might need a guy? Is it stuff that pops up? Is it a combination?
It's ever changing. It's a moving target. I mean, you have projected numbers, and then things pop up on you. Guy gets medical, guy does whatever, something changes in your program. Things happen all the time that don't exactly go according to plan, and you got to adjust. But you start with a roster management. We want 15 offensive linemen. Okay, that's a number. But we certainly can't end up with 12. Is it 14? Is it 15? I mean, you have every position. You come up with basically what you want to get accomplished, and you try to work with if you don't, at some point your roster is going to get out of whack. And if you don't manage your roster in recruiting, and you just let guys just go do their thing, at some point you'll get out of whack now. And that's my job as the head coach, is to manage the roster. Now, some head coaches are more involved than others. Obviously, I'm very involved. I mean, I watch every tape. I evaluate every prospect myself. I mean, I manage the board. I manage the numbers. And I try to keep the thing moving. So some guys are less involved, and sometimes those things have have the ability to take a life of their own, and it can catch up with you. And then guys try to say, oh, we got to go make it right now. How do we do it? Well, they'll go out and grab a couple of junior college players. Well, I know that that's not going to happen for me. Okay, so I'm going to have to be pretty consistent in how we manage our numbers. And sometimes in recruiting, people don't understand that either. You know, it's like, well, wait a minute, you took this guy over this guy. It's not, it's not just best available. It's best available, but it's best available within keeping your numbers proper.
Steve, this is now, what, the second year with the early signing period?
Yes.
So in general, I guess this is sort of a general question, how have you feel like you've adjusted to this? And, you know, what are sort of the differences now that you see as opposed to what it was like before?
Well, I think we've adjusted well, and I think here's the story, right? We go out there, we do our homework, we do a great job evaluating, we recruit guys, and I think we build relationships, we get them here early. I think we are aggressive and on target with our evaluations. Now we have a chance to sign our guys, because sometimes what happens is some of these places, when you don't, you know, you go down the home stretch in January and people don't do what they think they or should do, and then they come back and they start to raid your roster, right? And especially those places that really respect and value your opinions will come back and try to rate them. And I think this is good for us from the standpoint that sometimes it still happens, but the time frame to do it is much shorter. So that's a good thing. And I think we're very accurate and very on top of it, so we have our ducks in a row. Some places, believe it or not, don't get their ducks in a row that quick, you know. And so for us, I think it's been a good thing. It's crazy hectic. I want to be in everybody's home before this date, and so I don't start until obviously I can. The contact period starts, and the window for me to do that is about this big. It's almost impossible. So you're trying to get ready for a bowl game. You're trying to get in every single home, and it is really, while recruiting is taxing, I find this to be like a lot. But it's been good, and we've managed it, and I think we have a good system of how we're going to handle this. Somebody asked me earlier today about the whole early signing thing. My original thought process was it should be maybe like a June or August or September deal. Originally, I thought the thought process was it was just for those guys that really knew where they really wanted to go. They wanted to early commit. They were set. They just wanted to sign. It wasn't going to become a whole visitation thing and everything else. Well, you know, it ends up being this. And now I don't know what the numbers will be, but I'd say the majority of kids or programs will sign the majority of their classes are signed right now. And it's really not that many guys that really go to the next signing period. So it's become a whole different deal to me. Like January's like May now, but May used to be when the head coaches used to be able to go on the road in May. So the whole thing is shifted right now. So what do I think? Probably for us, it's turned out to be a good thing. Overall, I don't know. I don't know. From a cost containment standpoint, it probably helps, you know, because you're not rerouting all those trips again all the way through January as well, right? I don't know. Everything's changing so fast, it's hard to keep your arms around it. You adjust to the new normals, and you work within the new normals. And it's the best I can tell you. And this is a new normal, and probably change again for all I know. And you just try to keep adjusting to, you know, and we adjusted to the spring visits. Like, we didn't go overboard on that stuff, and I think we were right. You know, moving forward, I mean, exactly how that's going to go, I don't know. And the kids going to want to take them. You know, this year we had a couple, and a couple signed. But I thought that was hard because it seemed like so long ago that they were here. And I love our first 2 weekends in December. I just think it's such a family embrace time, and those guys sometimes can't. So I don't know about all that, but just keep rolling. And I know what's here. And I've been a lot of places, but I've been here during this new normal. And this for us right here has been pretty good for us.
Steve, just talk about mining the Jersey Catholic leagues.
Well, Catholic leagues as a whole, obviously for us, makes sense, right? I mean, and Jersey is in our 5-hour footprint, so that makes double sense. I mean, New Jersey's our footprint, Catholic schools are our footprint, and we get two for right there. Yeah. So it makes good sense for us. You know, our footprint is obviously, you know, New England and New Jersey. And then we expand it, you know, deeper. But you call real footprint, you're talking about that 5-6 hour radius, and within there, any private Catholic schools, I think, are always really good places to start for us. And then we're in the Catholic schools nationally, in Ohio and all those other places. I think where we have to be careful, we're in Texas, we're in California, but I think where we have to be careful is when we get outside of our footprint, meaning 5-6 hour radius and private Catholic schools. We get out there, that's where I think we just have to be careful. That's where I think if you got a higher tendency to, if you're going to be wrong, you might be wrong there. And so you got to really be, I think, even more scrutiny on that. And that's what I try to pay close attention to, But, certainly New Jersey always has and always will be. I mean, let's call that a home. That's a home area for us, and that's not a new phenomenon in the last, 5 or 6 years. I mean, it's been that way for a long time, and it makes sense that it would be that way. So we got to continue to do a good job in locating and in recruiting in these areas, and what's your competition and who you're recruiting against in those areas. And so it's been good for us. It'll continue to be good for us. Just really I like where we're headed, and I like what we've done in this recruiting season a lot, And again, we all know we'll have a better evaluation of this down the road, But I would say very, very excited and happy where we are, at least right now today. So, and we'll see where we head from here.